Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs, welcome back to another video of mine. My internet's down at the moment, so I'm doing this on the phone and I'm having to use my mobile data to actually upload this video, so hopefully it comes out okay. FAI Cup obviously this weekend, really looking forward to that, and going to Cork City and Pats and Turner's Cross, really looking forward to that. 2 league games as well, and I'm going to Drogheda and Derry at Weavers Park, so looking forward to that as well. We'll get into the league games first, and we'll start off at Drogheda. We're trying to take on Derry City at Weavers Park, and feels like the last chance saloon kind of for Derry City here, in my opinion. They do still have an opportunity, if they can win this game, to go within 2 points of Shamrock Rovers at the top of the table. Of course, Rovers have that game in hand, but at least they could be putting a bit of pressure on the Rovers with a win here. If they don't win, with 4 games to go, with 4 games to go, 3 in Derry's case. Look, they have to win this, I think. I think they just have to win this. Not an easy match, of course not, but they have to win it. Drogheda are safe, really. They're 12 points clear, Cork, with 12 points available and a much better goal difference. So they go into the game with no pressure, and what was that went by my face there? It was like a bit of fluff. I don't know if anyone notices that in the camera, but anyway. Yeah. They go into the game possibly with no pressure, and 2 things can happen. Like, you know what I mean, you might lack that hunger and desire, but also you might play without any kind of pressure or fear whatsoever, and still laughing at that. But it's always difficult to beat Drogheda and Weavers Park, and Derry only know that too well themselves, but they have to go, they really have to go and win this game, and the pressure is on them to go and win the game. How will Derry win this game? Well, they'll have to score more goals than Drogheda, won't they, I would guess, but look, they're going to have to break Drogheda down. They're going to have to break them down. The likes of Will Patchin is playing very well at the moment. Duffy, he's been up and down this season, mainly because of injury, like, you know, that kind of way, but he's on form. He's playing well at the moment as well. I know a lot of people are saying that Derry could do with a striker, but I think a lot of teams could do with a striker, to be honest. A lot of people put it down, maybe their form as such, and not being able to get ahead of Rovers at this minute in time, down to the fact they haven't got a striker. But even Shamrock Rovers themselves haven't really got a striker. I know Gaffney, but I don't think he's been quite as consistent this season. He certainly hasn't scored as many goals. So, and if you look at Pats, who are a point behind Derry, they don't have a consistent striker either. So it's a problem in the league in general. And without going too far off topic, I think what happens these days, any striker that gets a decent amount of goals are gone fairly quickly. Look at Sligo with Aidan Keena, gone after a year. Mata, gone after half season after scoring 11-12 goals, like, you know, so that's a problem. Derry have missed Colin Whelan, there's no doubt about that, but they're going to have to, they still have enough goals in their team. You look at Michael Duffy, you look at Will Patchin, McElhenney if he's fit. McGonigal can still chip in with goals, like, you know, and Danny Mullen's come in and scored 3 goals for them as well. I think Declan McMullen is capable of scoring more goals than he should. I think he might have got 1 so far. Derry fans will know themselves, I think. But they have goals in their team, and, you know, the central defenders are capable of scoring as well. So I don't know. I don't think that's been the problem. I think, you know, maybe a little bit of lack of belief, like true belief, subconscious maybe belief that they can really go on and win this title has come into it. Because anytime they're in a position where you feel they can really, you know, they can be nearly favourites here if they win this game type thing, they don't win it. And I think the game a couple of weeks ago, the Brandywell against Shamrock Rovers, they had to win that game in reality, in my view. But they have to keep going. They have to try and win the last 4 games and hope that Rovers slip up, because stranger things have happened. And be interested to see how they do. For Drogheda, as I said, go into the game without any pressure. You know, investment coming in next season into the club, and other bits and pieces happening around the club that I wouldn't be able to mention yet, to be fair, but good stuff coming to Drogheda. And once again, low budget, they're a team a club that could easily be in the first division with the budget they have, and they punch above their weight. They'll still want to finish 7th actually, if they can, ahead of Sligo Rovers, I think, which would be as good as a season as they would have expected, I think, to be honest. And, you know, they brought in Kyle Robinson there, and he's been amongst the goals. He's settled back in at Drogheda quite well and scored some goals. Scored again against Dundalk the other night there. They look to Foley on the wing on the right hand side, I think, and look to Dale Rooney. He's been very good this season on the left, on the counter attack in particular, to try and cause cause problems. I think Connor Kane coming in has been a massive help. It's good to see Connor coming back to form as well after a horrific injury. And also it means that Evan Weir goes to centre half. And Evan Weir is, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, is a better centre half than he is left back. That's my personal opinion. So they've strengthened there at centre half as such, with the addition, with the signing, if you like, of Connor Kane, who they'll be hoping to keep next season. But yeah, interesting game at Weavers Park. I think Derry might just pinch this one though. Just about do enough. I'll go for Drogheda United 0, Derry City 1. Talca Park, there's a big game at Talca Park as well, where Shelbourne were beaten last week for the first time in about 15 matches. Very impressive run at Shamrock Rovers and Tala. And they will... it's a big game. It's a big game. They're 6 points off third place. Shelbourne, third guarantees you Europe. Fourth could still get you into Europe. They're 2 points off Bohemians in fourth place. So they'll be at least looking to finish out of Bows, let's say, anyway. But Dundalk are now 7 points behind third. Don't think they'll finish third. But they're only 3 points off Bows all of a sudden with the 2 recent wins against Cork. Impressive wins, actually, against Cork and Drogheda. Badly needed, because if they didn't win if they dropped points down in those games, I think they were gone. But they have a little chance, don't they? A glimmer of hope. Now, it's not easy going to Talca Park and playing Shelbourne and beating them. Do they have to win? Probably. I think Dundalk might have to win more than Shelbourne, even though there's only a point between them. A point at this stage of the season is a big difference, I think, to be honest. And Shelbourne are that bit close to the Bohemians. So I think it's probably a must-win for Dundalk. Ideally a win for Shelbourne as well, but a must-win for Dundalk, I think. And, Shelbourne again, at times in terms of set pieces, corner kicks, they struggle to deal with them. They struggled to deal with them against Shamrock Rovers the other night as well. And one thing that's notable with Dundalk in recent weeks in particular, Darryl Horgan from free kicks, corner kicks, has been sending good deliveries. And, when you've got dangerous strikers like Pat Hooban, who's very good in the air and very clever in his movement in the box, that's something that Shelbourne have to be able to deal with set pieces better, because I'm sure Dundalk will target that in this game. There's no doubt about that. They certainly should target it in this game. But there's always an opportunity to get in behind Dundalk's backline as well. And Shelbourne have players that are capable of doing that. Obviously, Jack Moylan is capable of doing that. Harry Wood's come in. He has 6 assists, which is impressive considering he only came in, 2/3 into the season, that kind of way. So... I didn't start straight away, so that's very impressive from Harry Wood. So Shelbourne have those players that they can hurt Dundalk in that case. I think it'll be a tight game again, though. I don't see many goals in the game. Shelbourne haven't won on the flip side in the last 2, so they'll be looking to win this one. It's a difficult one to judge. It really, really is. As I said, Dundalk have been playing a bit better in recent weeks. Archie Davis is another player, 7 assists from right back this season. Very good delivery of the ball. So Shelbourne are going to have to be careful from crosses, set pieces and all that kind of stuff, which is something they struggle with. I'm not really sure why, really. They tend to mark zonally, and I can understand why, but when you've got players like Hooban, I think, easier said than done at times. Hooban just seems to peel away from defenders like it's nothing, doesn't he? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think Horgan is starting to play well. He's starting to settle back into it for Dundalk. Daniel Kelly's playing very well for Dundalk as well. Even in some of the games that were poor in, he was one of their better players. When he's fit and available, he can be one of the best wingers, inside forwards in the league, and he's been amongst the goals as well. I think this will be a draw. I know both clubs will be thinking, or both sets of supporters will be thinking, we don't want a draw, and a draw particularly probably isn't great for Dundalk, because I think Bowls play UCD next. But you never know, they might not win that game, who knows. Certainly a Dundalk defeat, I think, knocks them out completely, though, to be honest. I think they're a defeat away from being knocked out of the race. So, but they pulled themselves back in there now, and it's going to be an interesting game. But I'll go for Shelbourne 1, Dundalk 1 at Talca Park. Now, the 2 cup games, 2 very intriguing ones. I think first one is on Saturday, both live on RTE. I'm going to Cork and Pats, but we'll talk about Galway United home to Bows first, and this is really intriguing, this game. It is. We've got Galway, who ran away with the league in the first division. As we speak, they're 20 points ahead of second place in the league. They're just on an unbelievable run, aren't they, Galway? And, if you forget about the league for a minute, look at the cup. That win against UCD where they battered them as well. And I know a lot of teams have done that in the Premier Division, but at the same time, they're a Premier Division side, Galway, in the First Division. I've been saying that for quite some time with the squad and the quality of players they have, and they've obviously got a very good setup there. John Caulfield in charge, Ollie Horgan in helping them as well. Vastly experienced crew. Caulfield has won this competition before, so he's won leagues as well. So it's going to be a difficult one, this one, for Bohemians. I think it really is. Now, you could argue, will Galway be able to deal with the pressure? That will be a little bit of a question as well, because people will be expecting them. The fans will nearly half expect them to win this game against a Premier Division side battling for Europe. But the way they dismantled Dundalk 4-0 up at half time as well, and there could have been more in this game. They bombarded them. They just absolutely bombarded them in that match with, crosses into the box. You just can't give away free kicks. Dundalk couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the set pieces, the free kicks, the deliveries from David Hurley. They're so powerful. They're physically very strong, and they really look to test that Bohemians backline, who I think that's the weakest, the Bohemians side, as well as their backline. To be honest with you as well, and they're going to be seriously tested, and Kasper and Novak are going to have to play well in this game, I can tell you that for sure. Bulls are going to have to stop that though. They're going to have to try and get on the ball themselves and try and be as dominant as they can, so that Galway can't bombard them basically. But that's going to be difficult. I think it will be difficult for them, and they've got players like, Slevin, Bruder, who can score from set pieces as well. But for Bohemians going into this game, I think, they obviously have to look to James Clark and Afolabi, who've been outstanding recently. And, Clark, his link-up play with Afolabi is excellent, isn't it? Afolabi now has 16 goals in all competitions, 12 in the league. And, he's capable of bullying the Galway defence as well. So they wouldn't have come up against anything like him, I suppose, in the First Division this season either. And but they need, it's alright saying James Clark and Afolabi, but you need more, don't you, in your team as well. It'll be interesting how they play in midfield, because their back four was Bart, Novak, Kasper and Kirk actually in their last game, and it's a bit more of a natural back line as such. We have often seen obviously Flores at left back and Keith Buckley at right back, but it'll be interesting to see what they go in midfield, because they've got Buckley obviously, who in my opinion will play because he's a bit of a steadying influence. Yes, there might be players with better ability than him even in the squad, but a steadying influence. McManus, Clark, you obviously have Adam McDonald and even Flores as a midfield player obviously, but I think they'll go with the three: Buckley, Clark and McManus, to be honest with you. Although the physicality of Galway, they might kind of go, okay, maybe McManus, he might put McManus on the bench, wouldn't be surprised, and play McDonald or Flores, so that'd be interesting as well. It won't be too far off the team that plays Sligo, I don't think, to be honest. And be interesting if he picks and continues to pick or picks Carrick actually from that game as well, so that's going to be very interesting. Connolly, in my opinion, at times been a bit underrated this season. He's outstanding against Sligo as well. Danny Grant hasn't quite got there yet for Bowes, has to be said, but I always thought he needed a pre-season behind him, and we won't be able to judge him till next season. So but Ali Coote has come in, he's showed good form, and I do expect Coote to start as well. So look, they've got match winners. Coote can be a match winner as well, as I mentioned before, the two others, Clark and Afolabi. But they're going to have to defend well in this game, Bohemians, they really are, and that's where Galway can really get at them. Galway, they have some very good players as well. As I said, they're a Premier Division squad in my honest opinion. I thought that before even the Dundalk game. David Hurley, 25 goals this season. Actually, I think he might have more now as well. I know he's on penalties, but still, midfield player. Not only that, but I talked about Galway's set pieces. Hurley's the man who delivers them. So Bowles have to make sure that they're not overly aggressive. They have to defend well, but they can't give free kicks away in and around the box, be it indirect or direct, because Hurley can hit free kicks directly as well, and he can swing them in. And it is hard, because how do you minimise the amount of corners you can see? Like, it can be difficult. So they're going to have to defend them well, Bowles, and they're going to need James Talbot, I think, to be very commanding in this game, really help out centre halves. Vocally, and in action in terms of coming out and getting a fist to a ball, getting a catch, etc., and helping them that way. So it's a really intriguing game. It's one I'm looking forward to watching, actually. It's really intriguing, and I've got two managers who are very experienced, have won this competition as well, and there's some players in both sides who've won this competition too. And Galway, I think they'll go with Wazim up front as well. I think Wazim can be a handful. They've other options. They've got Francis Laboto. He doesn't generally start, but he can be an option there as well. And Rob Manley's come into a bit of form, but I think they'll start. That's a scream. It's not Halloween yet. I do think they'll start with Wazim because he's a physical presence, and I think they'll try and target Bowes in that kind of sense. I don't know what the weather will be like. It should be okay, I think, as well. But the less windy and rainy, the better for Bowes, I think, as well. But a serious test of Bowes' mettle as well, I think, in this game. And it's going to be a very interesting game, as I mentioned before. Let us know what you think in the comments of Galway or Bowes fan. Prediction time. I think Galway might edge this. I really do. I think if they play well, and which I expect them to play well, because they're playing with super confidence, and it doesn't matter who they play at the moment. Aim in DC Park, that crowd, I think Bowes might find them hard to handle defensively. So if Bowes are to win this game, I think they're going to have to score a couple of goals, to be honest with you. I really do, and they're capable of doing that. But I'm going to go with Galway because mini shock and win 2-1. I suppose most people didn't expect Galway to cup final start of the season, so Galway 2-1 for me. On to the other semi-final, Cork St Patrick's Athletic. They played last week in the league. Donovan was sent off for Cork in that game, which was just a ridiculous decision. But anyway, Pats won't have Sam Curses available for this match, so they won't. I think Mulroney might be back, to be honest. Apart from that, it'll be interesting to see how Pats play this game, because Jamie Lennon played right back last week. They have options at right back, but they're not fit. McLaughlin and Soyberg I don't think will be fit enough, so they could probably do with Lennon in midfield, to be honest with you. They miss him in midfield, but if they don't have those options, he's going to play right back again. So it'll be interesting to see if any of those players are actually available to fill in at right back. Pats didn't play well in that game last week. And coming into it, they'll know they have to play better, because they did get away with that win. I don't think they can play like that and get away with it again, to be honest. I think Cork fans, players, management will be quietly confident after the performance they put in last week against Pats, and if they can play like that again, they have a chance. Pats were poor though, and I do expect Pats to improve on that performance. Be interesting to see if Carty comes in up front for Pats, or if Lonergan starts. It's difficult because they're completely different. Lonergan's a better finisher, is more likely to score goals. Carty's better at probably the donkey work and holding up the ball and being a nuisance, to be honest with you. So not sure how they'll go there. It'll be interesting to see how they go. I think out wide, it's interesting as well. I think Doyle and McClelland did play last week all right, and Doyle did score and was dangerous in the Drogheda match, so expect him to start again. Will they bring Mulroney in from the start? I don't know. It's hard to know. They've been playing Keane Levy at 10. It hasn't really worked. I think Levy could get in the ball a bit more actually at wide. The way Pats play, they haven't really been playing through the lines centrally at all, so Levy has been out of games, I'd say. So he could be an option on the wing as well. Of course, if Forrester in midfield alongside Adam Murphy, I think, and be interested to see, as I said, if Lennon comes in there or not. I suspect Norman will play again with Joe Redmond at the back. Norman played well enough, actually his best Pats performance against Cork at Turner's Cross, I felt, last week. So there's no reason for him to go again and not to go again. And Cork, for their part, I don't know if Kustovic will be available. He was missing last week. I'm not sure he'll be available. Apart from that, I can't see many changes in their team. They'll be happy enough with the way they performed. Keishin was a handful. I think Keane Murphy might go again up front as well, to be honest. Tunde is out for them as well. So they were well on top last week in that game in midfield, Cork, as well, and that's something they'll try and replicate, I think. I don't know if John Daly will look to change something in there in midfield. As I said, Lennon ideally in there, but if there's no available at right back, he doesn't play in midfield. So part of me says Cork will have to play like that again, and Pats, are they going to play as poorly as they did last week? I don't know, and that's the question. I suspect not. So Cork will have to go in front in this match, I feel, as well. If they don't, you'd expect Pats to go and win the game. And it's just Pats are more match winners, I suppose. If Chris Forrester, Mulroney, if he plays, can be a match winner. They're stronger at the back. They're a stronger team all round, let's be fair about it. But Cork do have Rory Keating, who arguably has been the best striker in the league this year, particularly, scoring goals like that in a struggling team. It's very impressive, because it's very hard for a striker to score sometimes in a struggling team, and they will look to him. He is key for them, but they did show they could create chances last week, and they feel no reason that they can do that again. But I'm interested to see how the game is played compared to last week, if you get me as well. Pats, I mentioned in the review, Pats play a lot of long balls, aimless long balls forward, and we're just too slow and too passive. They need more vigour and energy and go, if you like, in the performance this time. And there's nothing wrong with going long and direct, as I said before, but you have to have a purpose to it. So you do. And Cork did play the better football last week, so yeah, I thought Bolger actually played last week as well. Played well last week for Cork in the middle of the park and be a bit up and down. But I thought there was a bit of bite in him last week. Got on the ball as well, made things happen for Cork City. And Bargary in the wing can be dangerous. So it's going to be an interesting one. 2 interesting FAI Cup matches. Really looking forward to them. I'll be in Cork. I'll be in Drogheda as well for that league match as well. So I just have a feeling, I don't know what the score is going to be. It could go to extra time, it could even go to penalties. Just have this suspicion that Pats will somehow get through. Mightn't be pretty, but I think they might somehow get through. Cork would be an amazing achievement for Cork City, by the way, if they got to the FAI Cup final. It really would, particularly in the year where they've been struggling, and as such have had 3 different managers, if you like, as well. So yeah, interesting game. As I said, Cork went at Pats last week. Pats have to impose their game in Cork this week as well. They have to show, Pats are a better team than Cork. They have to go out in the pitch and try and show that and kind of impose their game on the opposition. Something that they haven't done in the last few months, really. And they're better than that. So Pats for me just about to go through. Don't ask me how. I just think they'll go through somehow. It could be 1-0, it could be extra time, it could be penalties. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys. If you support Cork, support Pats, any points are in the matches, be it the league or the cup. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit your bell notification button so you don't miss any videos. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you later. Bye bye.